I asked, "Who's the lucky man tonight?" The CEO looked at me and said, "You are." The last thing I expected that Friday evening was for a single sentence to rewrite the story of my entire life. I had spent years believing that opportunities belonged to people born with connections, confidence, and money. I was wrong. Sometimes, hope walks into your life wearing an expensive suit, smiles at your worst moment, and quietly reminds you that your value was never measured by your bank account. That night, one unexpected answer changed everything I thought I knew about success, love, and second chances. Before we continue, if you believe kindness can change lives, hope deserves another chance. And forgiveness is one of the greatest gifts we can give. Please take a moment to like this video. Leave a comment, share it with someone who needs encouragement, and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us continue sharing heartfelt stories that remind us all there is still goodness in this world. My name is Nathan, and I lived in Denver, Colorado. At 34, life had become a long list of unpaid bills, disappointing interviews, and silent prayers. After the construction company I worked for closed unexpectedly, I spent nearly a year taking temporary jobs just to keep my small apartment. Every morning I promised myself I would not lose hope, but every evening that promise became harder to keep. My father, Michael, had taught me that a person's character mattered more than their paycheck, yet I often wondered whether the world still believed that. One afternoon, my longtime friend Caleb convinced me to help cater a charity fundraising gala. It wasn't glamorous work, but the extra money would cover my electric bill. I spent the evening carrying trays, clearing tables, and watching influential people laugh beneath sparkling chandeliers. It felt like a different universe from the one I lived in. The event honored local businesses, supporting veterans and struggling families. The keynote speaker was Charlotte Bennett, the respected CEO of one of Colorado's fastest-growing technology companies. Newspapers described her as brilliant, generous, and impossible to impress. She spoke about leadership with remarkable humility, reminding everyone that businesses should never forget the people behind the numbers. Her words sounded sincere, unlike the polished speeches I had heard before. As the evening drew to a close, I noticed several guests congratulating Charlotte, while someone joked about introducing her to a successful businessman. Wanting to lighten the mood as I collected empty glasses, I smiled and casually asked, "Who's the lucky man tonight?" I expected laughter or an awkward smile before returning to work. Instead, Charlotte looked directly into my eyes with complete confidence and quietly replied, "You are." The room became strangely silent in my mind. Surely she was teasing me. I was wearing a borrowed catering uniform, exhausted from working double shifts, and wondering whether my rent check would bounce. Yet her expression held no mockery. She simply smiled with genuine warmth before walking away to greet another guest. I couldn't stop thinking about those words. The following Monday, I received an unexpected phone call. Charlotte had asked the catering company for my contact information. Assuming there had been a complaint, I nervously accepted an invitation to meet her at her office. Instead of discussing the gala, she explained that she had noticed something few others had. While everyone else focused on impressing wealthy donors, I had quietly helped an elderly veteran whose cane had slipped, comforted a nervous young volunteer, and treated every guest with equal respect. She believed character revealed itself when no one was watching. Charlotte wasn't interested in offering charity. She offered me an entry-level operations position in her company. She admitted my resume lacked corporate experience, but integrity, reliability, and compassion couldn't be taught as easily as technical skills. She believed those qualities were the foundation of great leadership. The transition wasn't easy. I struggled to understand unfamiliar systems, attended night classes, and often stayed late asking questions everyone else seemed to know already. Some coworkers quietly doubted I belonged there. More than once I considered quitting. Each time, Charlotte reminded me that growth always feels uncomfortable before it becomes confidence. Months turned into a year. I earned promotions through persistence rather than shortcuts. More importantly, I discovered that success felt meaningful only when shared. My first major bonus paid off my father's remaining medical debt. I helped Caleb start his own small catering business, after introducing him to several corporate clients. The apartment that once felt like a symbol of failure slowly became a home filled with gratitude instead of worry. As we spent more time working together, Charlotte and I became close friends. Our conversations rarely centered on business. We talked about family traditions, faith, community service, and the importance of never forgetting difficult seasons after life improves. Friendship gradually became something deeper, built not on wealth or status, but on mutual respect and shared values. One quiet autumn evening, nearly 2 years after the charity gala, we returned to the same ballroom where everything had begun. The decorations looked different, but the memories felt remarkably clear. Charlotte smiled and reminded me of the question I had asked that unforgettable night. Only then did I fully understand her answer. She had never meant I was the lucky man because she intended to date me. She meant I was lucky because I still possessed kindness after life had given me every reason to become bitter. That kindness had opened a door no resume ever could. If this story touched your heart, please leave a comment and tell us where you're watching from. We'd love to know what lesson stayed with you the most, and your words may encourage someone else who needs hope today. Not long afterward, Charlotte and I married in a small church surrounded by family, friends, and many of the people whose lives had crossed ours during that remarkable journey. Looking around the room, I realized the greatest blessing wasn't marrying a successful CEO. It was finding someone who recognized my worth before I ever recognized it myself. And whenever people ask how our story began, I simply smile, remembering one ordinary question asked during an ordinary evening, and one extraordinary answer that proved the luckiest moments in life often arrive when we least expect them. If this story reminded you that compassion is never wasted, please like this video, share it with someone who could use a little hope today, and subscribe for more heartfelt stories that celebrate kindness, faith, and the beautiful power of second chances.